all the good things of life only come to those who wait to get good messages. So that's why we have the best message this morning from the Morning Man. You have some messages?
I do.
Okay.
And you asked earlier, have you ever been broke? I mean, I'm talking flat out of options. Can't afford your next meal, bills piling up, debtors on your trail, broke. Have you ever been so broke that you find yourself walking by the roadside envying those who can afford a trotro? Today, I want to tell you about a man who has been even more unfortunate than that. In fact, this guy, he had been unfortunate since birth. The forceps that the doctor used to pull him out of his mother's womb had pinched a nerve, leaving him with a permanently droopy face and slurred speech from birth. His parents had split up while he was just a kid, and he had been forced to spend time in foster homes while he was growing up. Now, he had the opportunity to go to college, but he dropped out and moved to New York in the 70s, where he got married and decided he wanted to try and make it as an actor. Now, in spite of hundreds of auditions, he just couldn't find a role, so he started writing scripts instead. But nobody would buy his work. Now, the situation became desperate. His account, his pockets were empty, and he was behind on all of his bills and dodging his creditors. But worst of all, he didn't even have enough money to buy his next meal. At the end of his tether, he stole his wife's jewelry and sold it to get a little food to pay a few of his bills. That didn't last very long either. Then one day he stopped in a bar to watch Muhammad Ali beating another boxer called Weaponer on TV. And in spite of the thrashing that Ali was giving this boxer, Weaponer kept coming. And there was something about it which struck a chord with the young man, and he saw himself in the resilient boxer, and this inspired him to write a story about a talented loser who never gave up no matter how hard life got. This screenplay immediately attracted the attention of producers, and they offered him $100,000 for it. At this point, his wife was pregnant. He was still flat out broke. In fact, this time it was so bad that he had sold his dog to a stranger outside a liquor store for $50, just so he could put food on the table for one more day. Now, I wonder what you would do if you were flat out broke and someone offered you $100,000. Well, this guy declined. He insisted that he would only sell them the script if they made him play the lead role. The producers were not interested in casting an unwashed writer with a droopy face and slurred speech as the hero of their movie, so they offered him a little more money to take only the script, hoping that he would change his mind about acting. He did not change his mind. The producers offered as much as $400,000 for his screenplay, but this man would not budge. He insisted that he was an actor and that nobody could play this part better than he could. Finally, the producers gave in, but to protect themselves from financial loss if the movie failed, they paid him just $25,000 instead of the original $100,000 or even the $400,000 that they offered in the end. $25,000. At this point, I'm sure expressions like titinto, belengu, mumu, and for the more upmarket ones among you, blithering idiot, are passing through your mind right now, aren't they? Who in their right minds would steal their wife's jewelry, sell their family pet, and then turn down almost $500,000 just so that they could attempt to act with a droopy face and slurred speech? Well, what if I told you that the script was for a movie called Rocky, and that the stubborn, droopy-faced writer who insisted he was an actor was Sylvester Stallone? Would you still consider him a blithering idiot? You see, my friends, when you dream, when you picture the person that you wish to be someday, do you often wonder whether you have what it takes to make it? Do you look at those who have achieved your dream and consider yourself not up to their standard? Do you place a lower value on yourself than those you aspire to become? In our part of the world, we are taught to be humble and not to think much of ourselves. We are taught not only to respect our elders, but to respect our betters. Now today I want to ask you, who exactly are your betters? Who is better than you? This was the conviction with which Sylvester Stallone battled to play the role of Rocky Balboa in a movie that has now spurned 6 blockbuster sequels, 10 Academy Award nominations, and $1.17 billion in the box office. Sylvester Stallone turned down $400,000 in exchange for the chance to play this role, and today the actor is worth $400 million. Not such a titinto now, is he? All because even in desperate times, he never devalued himself. Poverty and desperation can make us do interesting things. It can make us sign all kinds of deals with all kinds of devils. It can make us compromise our values, our integrity, and our scruples, shaving off millions from what we are really worth. How else can you explain leaders of a rich nation like Ghana signing dubious deals to give away our precious resources for peanuts just so that they can get kickbacks? How else can you explain journalists even receiving money, cars, houses in exchange for their objectivity? Today, I want you to remember that you and you alone can decide what your value is in this world. You control your own supply, so set your own price and set it high. Never compromise your value, no matter how tough times get. God made only one of you. That makes you the rarest thing on the planet. That makes you priceless. So act accordingly. My name is Kojo Yankson, and nobody can be Kojo Yankson better than me. Good morning, Ghana. Here's another
that message
man.
reminded me about something I saw written somewhere, either on Twitter or on Facebook, that women only marry the devil because of money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, of course, we have to bring you the latest news headlines. After that, we'll look at the review of the newspapers. Stay with us. All coming up.